Welcome to Building the Future, hosted by Kevin Horick. With millions of listeners a month, Building the Future has quickly become one of the fastest rising programs, with a focus on interviewing startups, entrepreneurs, investors, CEOs, and more. The radio and TV show airs in 15 markets across the globe, including Silicon Valley. For full showtimes, past episodes, or to sponsor the show, please visit buildingthefutureshow.com.
Welcome back to the show. Today we have Alex Maximen. He's a co-founder and CMO at APY. Alex, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Great to be here with you guys.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you on the show. I think what you guys are doing is really innovative and cool, but maybe before we get into that, let's get to know you a little bit better and start off with where you grew up.
Sure. So as you can hear with my accent, guys, I'm French. So
Sure.
Born and raised in Paris.
Very cool.
I lived in Paris for my entire life. So after graduating my master's degree, I started working in an advertising agency in Paris.
Okay.
I did that for 3 years. There, I was just working on like lots of obviously advertising, developing solutions for our clients, developing websites for our clients because we had a developer, like a team of developers within the corporation too. And after that, I just decided that I wanted a new challenge. So what I did is that I just quit the company. I decided to move and to move to Canada. And 4 years and a half ago, almost 5 years from now, I moved to Canada and I moved here in Toronto. And that's where I am now.
Very cool.
When I moved here, I was basically by my own. I didn't know anyone, but I just wanted to have a new challenge. So going out of your comfort zone, I think that's really, really important. That's how you're going to find who you are, and that's how you're going to face the best challenges that you can. So what happened here when I moved here, it's I had a chance to get hired by a company. So they came to me, they hired me. It was a great company, big company, and I worked there for 2 years. And after that, I just decided that again, I wanted to have a new challenge and I wanted to build my company. That was a thought that I have like since a long time. And that's what I did. So I quit the company again and I started my own venture.
Interesting. What did you start?
So at first, knowing that we are two co-founders, so a team of two French guys actually. The other co-founder is named Guillaume. I met him actually in my previous company, the company I was working in here in Toronto. What we did is that we developed the first company, which was named a Hub Sync. What we were doing there was improving, optimizing the infrastructure costs, so the IT infrastructure costs of companies, because we found out that there's a lot of Comatos servers running every day that are just wasting tons of money and energy. And that's not a good thing for companies, for the users, and for anyone. So that's what we wanted to solve as an issue, how to optimize those IT infrastructures. Knowing that we are 100% bootstrapped, obviously it was tough to deal with all the investment that we needed to build the engine that we wanted to do. So during this venture, what we found out that was pretty interesting, but we found out that what was missing for us is obviously, and that's the case for lots of people, is to be supported and guided by experienced professionals, right?
Sure.
So knowing that, what we decided to do is to just take a step back and say to ourselves, okay, what are we facing in terms of challenges now that is the same as lots of people are facing today? And that the answer to that was, it's really hard to connect and start a relationship with a mentor, because that is only most of the time part of your personal network. And lots of people are pretty shy, and it's not easy to go and knock to the door to someone and say, hey, would you be my mentor? Would you become my mentor? I'd love to get mentored by you. So what we did is like what everybody does. We went on Google trying to find an answer and a solution. And the thing is that we didn't find anything. So what we said to ourselves was, okay, let's build this platform. We will benefit from it. All the people will benefit from it. And that's how started GetAPY.com.
Very cool. So how did you guys build the first version? Did you bootstrap? Did you build it yourself? Did you raise some money? Walk us through that.
So that's a good question. Again, from day one to now, we are 100% bootstrap.
Okay.
So that means that everything is like that we've built, it's from our own pocket, if I may say so. And we didn't get any investors because we didn't want to have any investors at first. We wanted to make sure that we were following the vision that we had. We were building the product that we wanted to answer the challenges of the people, and that's what we did. So we developed the first version. We went offshore to develop the solution. So we do not have internally, like at first we didn't have like the technical background to develop ourselves.
Right.
What we did is that we did all the conception, all the project, all the conception of the project, even all the pages. We designed everything by our own. But then obviously we needed developers to make it happen and develop the solution per se. So that's why we outsourced it, and that's how it went. So that was for the first version. After that, what we did is that we got a team, like the team get better, got bigger, sorry. And that's when we started hiring a CTO. So now there's a CTO, which is part of the team. And we have a team of 8 developers working for the solution today.
Very cool. So walk us through how people use the platform.
Okay, that's pretty simple. What we have developed, it's a product that is based, our offering is based on 2 products. There's on one hand, APY Marketplace, which is for the public, for anyone seeking guidance to connect with experienced professionals. And on the other end, there's APY Enterprise, which is a solution to make sure that employees within organization can belong to the organization, share knowledge with their peers, and make sure that there's no knowledge leak within the organization. So I'm going to talk about APY Marketplace.
Sure.
What we did here is that we developed a platform. It's a marketplace where mentors, coaches, business mentors are very highly experienced professionals such as CEOs, CTOs, CIOs, all those very high-level people can come and create an account for free. What they do is that they're going to fill in all the information that are required. So who are you? What did you achieve? What is your motto? What drives you? Because people want to know what drives you. That's the reason why they will trust you and they will get inspired by you.
Sure.
You will tell us about your past industries. Where did you work? What did you do? And also what you will be able to do is to set up your different offers. So that means that on our platform, what you do as a mentor or as a coach, you're going to be able to set up your own offers. So we designed 3 types of calls. There's the introduction call. Let's get to know each other. I'm going to explain to you my challenges and you let me know what is the game plan for you to make me achieve what I need to achieve, what I want to achieve. And we're going to see if it fits between you and I. Then there's the monthly call. The monthly call is more about a recurring call on a regular basis. For example, after the introduction call, it fits between you and I. That's great. I want to jump on a monthly call with you. And I see that you are available every Tuesday from 5 to 6. Let's book a call once a month, every Tuesday from 5 to 6, for example.
Right.
And then we have developed what we call the big run. So the big run call, it's for, I would say, more punctual needs. For example, let's say that I have a big meeting coming in 2 weeks from now with a client of mine. And I know that you, Kevin, you are the one, like the mentor or the coach that is going to be able to help me just overcome all the different challenges that I might have. I want to dig deeper with you. Let's book a call for a longer period of time with you.
Sure.
So those are the types of calls that we design. For each of them, the interesting thing is that, remember, it's a marketplace. So you will be able, as a mentor, to set up your own pricing. We think that we are not here to tell you what should be the price that you should charge people for your time. You know better than us the value of your time. And that's why, again, it's a marketplace and you will be able to define your own pricing as you want. The same for your schedule. We wanted to make your life easier. So what you can do is just integrate your calendar and you will be available only when you're available. That removes the back and forth with people when you want to connect with them to find the great moment to connect. So that is just to make your life easier. Once that has been done, so the mentees, they go to the platform, they find your profile, they book, they select a plan, and they book a time slot with you. Once that has been done, we start to go into what we call the framework. And that's really, really important. Again, relationships, if there's no framework, it's hard.
Right.
So what we did is that as soon as mentees can book a call with you, we are going to ask them to set up the agenda of the call. They have to be prepared. They are in the driver's seat. So we don't want them to waste your time, but we don't want them to waste their time or their money. So that's why we ask them to set up the agenda of the call. And once the meeting starts, so let's say the meeting starts now, both of you guys are going to join on your hand the meeting room. So it's an online meeting room, which is a collaborative place where you will be able, while we are talking like this, to just keep track of all the minutes of the call. And the great thing is that what we are doing here, we are just killing the administrative costs. We don't want you to waste time after the meeting, typing the notes and sending them again, because what is going to happen is that you will have some discrepancies and you will waste time after the meeting to send the minutes of the call that you could have done during the meeting. And that's what we offer today. Don't waste time after the meeting and no more surprises. Everybody will know exactly what it has to do and they will keep all the knowledge like of the call centralized in this meeting tool.
Very cool. So for people that are looking for, that's for people that are kind of looking for a mentor, but if they're a mentor, how does it work for them?
So as a mentor, as I told you, like you just have to go online, you create your account, it's completely free. You set up your entire profile. And what we do is that we operate as a media agency. So there's two ways for you to get clients. The first one is to obviously onboard your existing client.
Okay.
What we did, I'm going to use an analogy here, but what we built is it's a great car. Now you will be the driver and the passenger will be your existing client.
Got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can definitely do that. And obviously, if it brings value to you, it will bring value to your clients. And knowing the new world we are living in, and we know that it's hard now to do face-to-face meetings. So it's great to just retain your clients and make sure that, again, you bring more value on the table. That's the first one. Secondly, we operate as a media agency. That means that what we do is that we promote all of our business mentors, coaches, members on the platform through our different channels. So LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, etc. We are also planning to advertise the platform. We have a big campaign starting in the month of July, just to attract more and more people. Obviously, we're building a community. So at first, we needed to have mentors on the platform to attract mentees. And now we do have an amount of mentors, which is decent to make sure that we can attract mentees. But obviously, the goal is to make it grow, and grow again. And for that, we would need the support of the community too.
Sure. And then how do you guys monetize the platform?
So that's a good question. What we do is that we add a 20% markup on top of the mentor's pricing.
Okay.
So that means that as a mentor, you set up your own offer, you add your pricing, and the pricing that will be displayed to the mentees in the catalog of mentors, they will see your pricing, so the mentor pricing, plus our commission, plus the taxes, obviously, and also the fees from our financial partner, which is Stripe, which is the processor.
Right.
So it may be because we're European, but in Europe, like you always have like the final pricing in front of you.
Right.
And that's what we want to do here. So that means that people, when they go to the platform and they want to connect with someone, the pricing that they will see will be the final pricing that they will pay.
No, that's great. So you also mentioned an enterprise solution. Let's dive a little bit deeper into that as well.
Sure. So what we developed also is it's a corporate solution. So it's named APY Enterprise. And the goal here is to make sure that all the employees from the same company can get to know each other. Again, like in big corporations, it's not always easy to connect with different people, maybe in different services. Like everything works in silos, and it's really hard to connect with who you want to. Or sometimes you will just not have the occasion to connect with them. So what we build here is exactly the same concept. People in your organization will be separated between mentors and mentees. For example, all the top exec and managers will play at first the role of the mentors because they do have the experience, and all the rest of the employees will be the mentees. The great thing is that when you are a mentee, you can become a mentor and vice versa, because at the end of the day, everybody has something to learn from someone else.
Sure.
So the goal here is really to make sure that companies make sure that they show to their employees that they really invest in them and they want them to belong to the organization. In these complex times right now, lots of people are afraid. They don't know what is going to happen next week.
Right.
And that is a good way for them to just make sure that the company shows them how they invest into them. So again, you've got all the different mentors displayed in front of you. So they are part of your company. You can connect with them, schedule meetings with them through the entire framework that I just explained to you for the public version. And the great thing is that we also developed an interface for the administrator of the platform within the organization.
Right.
Because I think a great tool, it's great, but if there's no analytics, if you can't engage your community, nothing will happen.
Totally.
It will just be like another tool to use. It's another thing that the company is doing. And let's be honest, like lots of employees won't care about it. So they need to understand what is the value for them here. So this new interface that we developed, especially for the administrator of the platform, would enable them to manage all the users, obviously, by onboarding them. For example, if there's a new hire, you can just right away just send him or her an invite to create his own account and become a mentee. Or you can also track the engagement of the different users. So how many meetings have been held, how many mentoring hours have been done. And the great thing here is that what we want to track is also the gaps in terms of skills and challenges. So what we did is that we are suggesting different topics, kind of icebreaker for them, like mentees and mentors to talk during their meetings. But we're also suggesting lots of different skills and challenges. The great thing is that obviously everything is customizable for corporations, so they can focus on certain areas that really matters to them, but they can also use what we pre-developed for them. And the great thing is in the analytics, you would be able to find out what are the skills missing to your mentors and what are the challenges that your mentees are facing. Now, you will be able to focus and allocate your training budget on what people are waiting for, and not just on trainings that you don't really know if people are really interested in it. I'm not saying that corporations don't know what they do, because they do, but it's just great clues to find out exactly what your people, and that's really important. What are your people waiting from you?
Sure. And so how does the pricing model for the enterprise solution work?
So the way it works for corporation, it's license-based.
Okay.
So that means that, for example, a company that has 1,000 of employees, and only 500 of them are using the platform. They have been registered into the platform. Again, it's a private environment only for the company. So that means that nobody else can access it.
Right.
It's license-based, and we only charge for the people registered in the platform. So again, 1,000 of employees, 500 of them have been registered within the platform. You will be charged for 500 of them.
Right. Okay. And then obviously,
does that make sense?
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And then I'm guessing the actual cost varies depending on how many users you have.
Yeah. So obviously, depending on the size of the organization, we can be flexible. But keep in mind that there's a starting price at $10 per user per month.
Okay. So it's very affordable.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I say all the time. It's again, like here, the goal is really to make sure that the company can focus on what their best asset need, and the best asset of the company, it's always the people. And when you think about $10 per employee per month, it's like two kind of Cokes and two pack of chips, basically.
Yeah.
So it's all about what do you want to focus on, and especially right now with diversity and inclusion, it's more than ever so important. We need to focus on what people are waiting and their own development, and we want to focus on the individual development of each of us to really reveal the full potential of anyone.
No, I think that makes a lot of sense. And you guys are also doing another vertical. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So we found out that, again, the first version that we have developed, we found out that the framework that we built to make sure that mentors and mentees, coaches and clients can run their meeting the proper way, we found out that this framework was really liked by our members. So what we did is that we decided to just sell this meeting tool as a standalone product.
Right.
So what we're doing right now is we're going to release a new version of the platform. There's a new design, there's a new stack, all the different feedback that we got, like for the first version, we integrated them to make sure that we got like the best solution as possible. Obviously, it's never perfect. It's always a work in progress. So we are working really hard to make it like the best as possible. But now what we're going to do is that we're also going to sell just this meeting tool to corporations, to individuals who want to run meetings without spending time after the meeting to type the notes and send them to their clients or to their teammates. So the way it's going to work, it's very easy. There's 3 types of plans that we have defined for startups, for small teams, and for established businesses. For all of them, you will be able to just run your meetings, create templates, making sure that when you have a meeting, you can invite your teammates or your prospect or your client through a link, and you will be able to type and build the minutes of the call with your clients or with your teammates. And again, the great thing here is that by the end of the meeting, so let's say it's a 45 minutes meeting that you have scheduled, because we have added a timer at the top of the meeting tool, you will know exactly when the meeting is going to finish. So I know it seems like very like a kind of a simple feature, but actually having that right in front of you helps really people to focus on what matters.
Totally.
So I'm not saying that you can't talk about the weather anymore, but again, let's make sure that your priority is going to be managed during your meeting. And at the end of the meeting, when you will click on end the meeting, all the notes will be directly sent by email to all the participants, and everybody will be able to access the meeting again to see everything that you guys discussed during the meeting. So like that, again, you're not wasting time after the meeting, and you're just removing the administrative cost of that meeting.
No, I think that's really great. And I love how you basically built the business around just what you saw was a need in the marketplace, and then you're rolling into other verticals based on your current users' feedback, right? Like, I think so many people just try to like sit at a whiteboard and like brainstorm ideas, and I'm not saying that's bad, but you know, there's other ways to generate startup ideas or add new verticals inside of your business. So how do you guys though decide when you get this feedback from your users to actually like, you know what, we could really build that into a new vertical and turn that into another product inside of our platform? How do you guys decide which ideas are worth pursuing and others where you're like, no, that's not really part of our business, or we don't really want to get into that?
Good question again. So first of all, I truly believe that a great company comes from the feedback of your clients. The company that we have built, it's our vision at first, but it answers the needs of our clients.
Sure.
Without our clients, nothing will happen. So we need to listen to them and understand what they want. Now, in terms of what we need to develop next, we already have a huge roadmap. We have tons of things in mind, but we really need to listen to what our clients say. It's going to be a matter of volume. Like if what we get in terms of feedback makes sense for the majority of our customers, then it's worth the development and the integration of it. If it's not, if it's just for one person, that's unfortunate, but no, that doesn't make sense. And if it's too far from our business and to our vision, again, that will not make sense because it's not going to be great for the older users because they will not understand anymore what the platform is about.
Right.
And it won't be good for us because, again, it's going to be different segments. It's different products. It's different visions. It's not the same need. It's not the same people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. No, I think that's really good advice because it can be really challenging, right, to decide what features to add. It's also smart that you guys you're basically one platform and you have different verticals that service different markets inside of the same kind of concept, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you know, for example, like this meeting tool that we developed, again, for example, like people tell me sometimes like, yeah, but you know, I'm using Zoom or I'm using Microsoft Teams. And those tools, they are just amazing. They're so great. I'm using them like a lot.
Sure.
But the thing is that everything here is based on instant messaging.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, when we think about a meeting is just how to plan it in advance. So let's set up the agenda. Let's have like a timeline for this meeting, and let's focus on what matters. And then we need action items, we need due dates, and we need follow-ups.
Yeah.
That's what it is, not more than that. But that's easy to say, but I'm sure that you run lots of meetings, and I did too, and you know that it's not always how it works.
Oh, 100%.
Unfortunately. Yeah. And what is happening is that, again, you're gonna do the meeting. If you don't type the notes right after it, you're just gonna miss lots of information, and then like you're gonna have like some surprises because nobody was on the same page, and that's not what we want here. So that's why, like in this meeting tool, we added action items, due dates, the status of each action item. You know, if it's postponed, if it's completed or not, if it's done or not, and you can add comments to make sure that people understand what they need to do. If, for example, like if you need to do something for me for next week, then I would be able to guide you by adding a comment saying, okay, you have to do that, Kevin. Just to do that, just keep in mind that you should check that. That will help you.
Right.
So it's just to make sure. And then obviously there's a dashboard with all the different action items. You will know exactly what you need to do for who and when you need to deliver. So yeah, as you said, like it's part of the feedback, and it really makes sense for a lot of people. So as soon as you've got this those feedbacks and you want to just make it happen, then you just follow with your vision first, obviously, but you take into consideration everything that you learn from your clients, because a company, a platform, it evolves all the time. And I can tell you that what we had like about a year and a half ago in mind, it's completely different than to what we have now, because it had evolved, but in the right way. And that's what makes the entrepreneurship journey really, really exciting.
No, I 100% agree. The other thing that I think by setting it up with action items and an agenda and stuff, like obviously people could do that themselves or do it whatever and put it in like just a Word doc or something. But the thing that you guys are forcing here in a good way is consistency. So like I might run my meetings a little bit different than you and every other employee that runs meetings. We all have our own style, but the inconsistencies of that or what people expect from that can be really, really challenging. But if you have a framework that's forced on everybody to be consistent is a harsh way of saying it, but it makes everybody's expectations the same. It's like, you know what you're expected to do during a meeting, what you're getting coming out of the meeting, and what you're expected to do once that meeting's over and when you're expected to do it from. And like just having a piece of software manage that for you, and you can just offload it and get it out of your brain is very valuable. And I think a lot of people don't think about that until they actually start using a tool that handles that administrative stuff from them. Do you agree?
Oh, definitely. What you're talking about, I think, here is accountability.
Totally.
Accountability, it's huge. And again, like now, with what we've developed here, again, like it's pretty simple. Like, I mean, like you just have to prepare your meeting in advance. Let's say you're one of my prospects, okay?
Yeah. I
used to work in sales, and lots of entrepreneurs, like obviously you need to develop, you need to do everything, but at the end of the day, you need to sell.
Yeah.
And running meetings, it takes time, it takes lots of energy, and typing the minutes of each calls to send them, having follow-ups, it takes a lot of energy. So obviously there are lots of CRMs that exist that you can use to do that, but at the end of the day, you will need to do everything manually and typing it again and again and again. So what we did here is that obviously we are working on different integrations to integrate different CRMs like Salesforce, Agile CRM, and a lot more like HubSpot, etc. Just to make your life easier and making sure that you won't spend that much time doing those administrative tasks. So a salesman, for example, instead of just having like, I don't know, someone that needs to have like 50 calls a day, that happened in my life. I needed to have like 50 calls a day, but every time I had a call, I needed to type my minutes and send them back to my client, schedule a follow-up, etc. Here, basically, what you will have to do, you run your meeting, You have invited your client to the meeting. You have prepared it in advance. So yes, it's a bit of time, but just to make sure that the agenda has been set up. Once you are running the meeting, you and your clients will build the minutes of the meeting together. So you know exactly, you have exactly the same level of information. You guys are on the same page. You can end the meeting when you hang up the phone, and everything is going to be sent to anyone. You don't waste any more time, and now you can give another call to another client or another prospect. And the great thing is that, again, thanks to our past experiences, again, I used to work in sales. You know, like when you just are prospecting, like basically you're going to have like this first discovery call, and you always kind of use kind of the same framework, same agenda here. So what we did is that we have created a feature to make sure that you can create templates. So for example, for all the discovery calls that you would have with prospect, you can just create a template once, you save it, and then you just reuse it and send this template, like this meeting agenda, to the new prospect that you will have. Like that, you don't waste any more time. So you're just saving time on the left, saving time on the right, and you can just focus on your valuable actions.
No, I 100% agree. And it also, just being able to take a few minutes and set up an agenda for a meeting, it sounds kind of trivial, but if you go in focused and knowing what you're doing is really great, right?
Exactly. Look, today you and I, we're having a meeting now. So we're recording. That's great. You sent me the invite. There was the agenda of everything, which was properly set up. I knew exactly what was going to happen, and we just jumped on the recording right away, right? Yeah. So that's how it works. Again, it's very simple to say, and there's a lot of people that are doing it, but let's be frank, lots of people are not doing it. Totally. Because again, like, it's all about consistency and accountability, and why not have like this tool to help you just save time here and just remove this administrative task from your mind.
Yeah,
that's what we do here.
No, I think that makes a lot of sense. So I'm curious, you mentioned something earlier that I want to dive a little bit deeper into. You said that, you know, even a year and a half ago, the product's quite different than you should than you originally thought. How have you guys kind of accepted the fact that you had this vision, and it's sometimes it plays out exactly, rarely, and how have you guys kind of managed that, like, expectation of things kind of changed over time, and you're now in a bunch of different verticals, and just kind of how have you just kind of handled that adaptation and change and watching the platform evolve and grow? Because I think some people get so stubborn. It's like, no, that's not my original idea. I'm not going to change, right? Where you guys have kind of adapted it over time and added new products.
Yeah, that's a good question. I totally get that this could be like really hard for lots of people to, like you've got your idea, it's your baby. You want to make sure that like you've got your own vision, and you're like, yeah, no, that's what I'm going to do because that's what is going to work. That's what people are waiting for. But again, like at the end of the day, even if it's your company, it's your baby, you're not building it only for you. You are building it for the users, like the people, like the end user. And if it doesn't make sense to them, it should not make sense for you. And you don't need to focus on something or waste time and money and energy on something that people don't care about. So at first, I think like, like we all have, and that's great because that's the human being is like that. Like like lots of us, like we want to reach the stars. So you have your ideal product in mind, and then you face the reality. You see what is possible, what is not possible, and what really matters to people too. And that's why, like at first, like you may think of different features, but you understand that is not a priority. It's a good to have, but it's not a must to have. And at that point, you need to have a step back and say, okay, if I want to continue and make my business sustainable and have my clients and make people happy using my platform, okay, I need to focus on what really matters to them. And it's okay, even if I had my different ideas at first, I can still have them in how you say that, like in my mind, and just see like in the future if you can develop it. it's not because you didn't develop it today that you won't develop it tomorrow.
Totally.
So again, make sure that, again, everything is sustainable right now, because if it's not, you won't be able to do it, or to make make the evolutions that you wanted happen in the future. You need to start somewhere, and I'd say that the most difficult part is to make things simple.
100%.
Simplicity, it's a hard thing, and it's better to have something which is not the best tool in your mind as possible, but which is working well for what it is supposed to do, instead of having like lots of different features that nobody really use because they don't really understand how it works, etc. Because in your mind, it's going to be very clear, but it's not for you. It's for the people, for the users, for your clients. And it has to be very clear for them, especially with all the competitions that we have today. I'm not talking just about us at getappy.com, but I'm talking about all the companies, all corporations. There's tons of people outside. There's tons of people who wants to make it happen. So you need to make it easy for your customers base to understand exactly what you did for them and what is the benefit from them. And that is called simplicity, and simplicity is really hard to reach.
No, I 100% agree with you. I think that's actually really good advice. But we're kind of coming to the end of the show. So how about we close with mentioning where people can get more information about you, and any other links you want to mention?
No, I mean, we're very excited now because we're about to release a brand new platform. So the new version of getappy.com, that will happen in a bit less than a month from now. So just stay tuned, and guys, just come to our platform. So the URL of the platform is www.getappy.com, and Get Appy, you spell it like this. Appy, it's APY. So GETAPY.com. Getappy.com. You can find us on LinkedIn, you can find us on Facebook, and just come visit the platform and you will enjoy it.
Perfect, Alex. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to be on the show, and I look forward to keeping in touch with you, and have a good rest of your day, man.
Yeah, thanks so much, man.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Please visit our website at buildingthefutureshow.com to join the free community, sign up for our newsletter, or to sponsor the show. The music is done by Electric Mantra. You can check him out at electricmantra.com, and keep building the future.